Hi, this is a tutorial for the GB Gas pipe sizing calculator. This version is the Android version, which is available on the Android market, very similar to the iTunes version. On the main entry screen you'll see that we can pipe size for 1 appliance, 2, 3 or 4 appliances. There's a little instruction sheet and a little conversion table. This is to convert from kilowatts to meters cubed per hour, and it's the value of meters cubed per hour that we actually need for the table. Let's go into 1 appliance to start off with, and we'll have a look at this. The 1 appliance is set up like a tutorial for it as well. You'll see on the right hand side you've got insert the assumed diameter, the length in meters and the number of bends. Input the gas rate and then press calculate. Look at the results. The results are at the bottom here. We've got meter to A result, and also look at the drop, and the drop is indicated under each column. You'll see that they're all indicated as M to A and then A to B. So from the meter to appliance A, let's assume we're using a pipe size of 22mm, and the length is 9 meters, and we have 3 bends. And the appliance that it's serving, let's make it a reasonable size combi boiler, so it's 3.2 kilowatts. When we hit calculate, you will see that at the bottom instantly it says MA drop is less than 1 millibar, so it's a pass. Now in the results section it also reminds you if it's red you need to change it. If it's yellow like it is just now you may need to change it, but because we're only dealing with 1 appliance here, we've got a drop of 0.7, it's perfectly acceptable, so we could leave that. And if it's in the green then it's okay. Just to show you the difference, if I pipe this same boiler in with 15mm and press calculate, you will find that you get a 999 code. The 99 code is that pipe will just not cope with that size of appliance, and again it tells you in the results pane that MA pipe is too small. If we take it to 28 and press calculate, you'll see that we get a much smaller drop. Now at this stage 0.32 28mm pipe can cope with that very easily, and if I go to 35mm pipe or even 32mm pipe, what you'll find is the drop really doesn't change. The reason for that is the tables on here are domestic tables, and they work up to 30 meters in length, and as soon as you hit that 30 meters mark with 28mm pipe or 32 or 35, the calculation to find out your drop is just going to be the exact same. The difference would be if we used a bigger size of appliance. So if I now put in a 6.4 meter cube per hour appliance, you'll see down the bottom it tells you now to need to use this U16 meter, as it's over the 6 meters cube per hour. And with 35mm we've still got a 0.35mm drop, because you could use 35 meters of 35mm for one of these appliances. If we take that down to 22 and press calculate, you will find that this goes into the red. Okay, so we would get a 3.5 millibar drop if I use 22, but if I use 28 we get a 0.7 millibar drop. So that's less than 1 millibar. We could use that for that size of appliance. What I'm trying to say here is 28mm pipe will do a huge amount of appliances and large appliances with a reasonable run of pipe. Okay, so pressing the back button on your keyboard should take us back to the main menu. I know it's on its side here. Let's have a look at 3 appliances and see how that works. Okay, so with 3 appliances you can see that we've sectioned the pipe out. We've got from meter to A, from A to B, from A to C, C to D and C to E. Yeah, and the 3 appliances are going to be at B and at D and at E for the gas rates. And up the top you'll see the same coding, so meter to A to B, A to C, C to D, C to E. So again, Put in your appliance sizes first of all. It's generally a good idea to put the boiler closer to the meter, we all know that, but I'm going to put the boiler further away. So let's make this a 2.8 meters cube per hour appliance. We'll put our gas fire here, we'll make that 0.56, and the first appliance will make a cooker, and we'll make that 1.2 meters cube per hour, big cooker. Now if I hit calculate at this stage, it will come up with warning boxes telling us that we haven't filled in particular parts of it. Again, the emulator's just a little bit slower than your mobile phone. Okay, so it tells you that you need to fill in the lengths. You press OK. Again, assume your pipe sizes. If you do miss them, it will pop up a warning box just to remind you to fill them in. And I'm going to assume that my first pipe is going to be 22 millimeters, and the length of the pipe, we'll call it 3 meters with 3 bends. And the next pipe, we'll say that it's 15 millimeters, and we'll call it 3.5 meters with 2 bends. And A to C is a straight bit of pipe, we'll call it 22 millimeters. We will make it 2 meters in length with 0 bends. C to D is going to the gas fire. Let's try and make it 15 millimeter pipe, and it's 9 meters away with 2 bends. And the bit going to the boiler, we should be making 22, and its length, we'll call it 5 meters with 3 bends. So almost a typical type of situation. When we press calculate, all the values are there, and it's told me that from the meter to B I have less than 1 millibar drop, from the meter to D I have less than 1 millibar drop, and from the meter to E I have less 1 millibar drop. So my assumed pipe sizes are absolutely perfect. Okay, we might be able to change some of them just to be ridiculous at this point. From A to C, we've only got a 0.13 millibar drop. I'm going to suggest that I put 15 in there. We would never do that. We would never go from 22 on this bit of pipe and then 15 and then back to 22. But let's just see what happens. Again, it's told me that the pipes are too small. So going back, let's put that back to 22. Let's calculate again. And it goes back to where we were. We might be able to, for the gas fire, put a smaller pipe in. So let's see if we could manage that in 12mm. And again, practically I wouldn't install 12mm, but it's nice just to prove it. Okay, and it's told me everything's less than a 1 millibar drop on there, but the total meter to A to C, and C to D with 12mm is now going to be 0.7. So my original assumptions of 15mm going to the cooker and the fire and 22mm going all the way to the boiler are correct.